Yeah, you look great.
Okay, hello everybody and welcome back to our hello everybody and welcome back to Sit and Knit for a Bit, because this is not our YouTube on Sunday, this is our Wednesday.
This is our
Wednesday.
Yeah, our weekly podcast with your hosts, as always, Arne and Carlos. We're back with a new podcast, and as you can see, we are indoors. We eventually or finally had to go indoors because the weather has been appalling today.
Yeah.
Actually, the weather has been horrific since
we were in the woods.
Since we were in the woods, yeah.
We saw the sun in the woods and then it disappears again.
Yeah.
And now it's been grey and a little bit of rain and...
Yeah, we haven't seen the sun for a whole week. I'm getting a little bit moody about that. It's like... And just in case you're wondering what am I wearing, I'm wearing a dickie because we were out walking the dogs. We just came in. I combed my hair and Arne tried to get his curls back with some water.
It's humid outside, so they should be back, but they're still...
And I took off my jacket and everything, but I just didn't feel like taking off my dickie because it's awful outside right now.
Yeah.
So this makes me feel a little better. Also, as you may know, it's hunting season.
So you have to wear red.
Yeah, red. And I was thinking this kind of turquoise blue is such an unnatural color that if we're walking in the woods, the hunters will see me. So I put the dickie, actually, what I do is I put my jacket on and then I put that dickie down through there. So it's outside of the jacket. So it's kind of like a warning, do not shoot me, I'm not a moose. And this dickie is designed by us. We designed this in 2008. And sold it all over the place, actually. New York, Tokyo, Paris, London, together with Comme des Garçons. It was a co-branded collection with Comme des Garçons, a really fabulous Japanese brand that we worked with a long, long time.
And this is what we used when we were kids.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I remember back when I was very young, I must have been maybe 4 or 5 years. My dad, we grew up in South America, but my dad is Swedish. And I think we spent a whole winter in Stockholm. Mm-hmm. So even if we were living in South America, I remember there was one winter.
That must have been very cold.
It was a winter. It was freezing cold. And I went to daycare. And I have this memory of how I was dressed every morning. So, t-shirt, underwear, long johns, and then a long woolen tee, a shirt, a sweater, a pair of pants. And then you've got these overalls that are in down feathers,
Yeah.
So my mom would probably lift me up and, kind of put me like that and then pull up the overall. And then she'd zip me up and then she'd shove the dickie down my neck.
That's like then icing on the cake.
Yeah, and then the hat on top. So I would be like this, like the Michelin man. And then I had to go to daycare. And if I went out and I lost my balance and I fell forward, and then I couldn't move because I was so, full of... Yeah. So, that's the whole thing about there's no bad weather.
It's only bad choices of
clothing. Yeah, and eventually I'll be too warm and I'll take the dickie
But you
off.
look good in it.
Thank you.
It brings back memories.
It does bring back memories from a really fantastic time in our career in fashion when we were working as fashion designers.
And from the childhood.
And from my childhood, yeah. You know what I'm thinking? Now we're indoors, right? Yeah. We're indoors, we're in our kitchen, and that's the place to be. If you're Scandinavian, you hang out in the kitchen. One of my favorite film directors ever is Ingmar Bergman. Mm-hmm. Ingmar Bergman for English-speaking people, but Ingmar Bergman is one of the most incredible film directors ever to live. And I kind of, when I think of his films, they're always in the kitchen.
Yeah. And when it's grey outside, it's even more Ingmar Bergman.
Yeah,
it's like very
exactly.
Scandinavian.
You sit in the kitchen. Weather is grey, everything's grey, right? And you're in the kitchen and you light up some candles, as we've done behind us, and then you kind of sit and you can have these very deep philosophical discussions about.
That's what we have actually. Every time when it's no, we're not. We're not.
Yeah. Anyway,
you looked confused. You were thinking like, do we actually have that?
No, we don't have any philosophical discussions. Anyway, previously in our lives.
Yeah, what happened?
So we were out in the forest last episode, filming in the woods. We had totally forgotten that it was the first day of the moose hunt.
Yeah. that was a little bit scary. In the
Especially
end,
because we started hearing all the dogs.
they came closer and closer, and we decided to leave the forest.
But-
we didn't pick a berry.
No, we didn't pick any berries,
No-
and
no
because we
berries.
brought all that furniture out in the car, Arne told me that there was no place for either me or Framer. And in case you're wondering who Framer is, it's kind of like, you know, Brangelina, but they're divorced now,
Yeah,
so it doesn't count.
yeah,
So Framer is Freya and Helmer. So we needed to take Framer with us, but Freya, half of the duo, decided that she wanted to go in the car. So she just sat down.
She likes to
literally.
go in the car.
Yeah, because she's very high maintenance.
She's high maintenance.
and lazy.
Lazy and high maintenance.
So she just wouldn't budge. She wouldn't move. And Helmer Helmer wants to be wherever Arne is. It's Arne for him.
We bonded
So,
very early
yeah.
when he was a puppy.
So I
He
don't
was
have a
this size.
yeah, and I don't have a driver's license. So I had to try to walk with the dogs while Arne was driving behind me. It was very chaotic. I felt very, very afraid because you never know when a hunter will pop out and you know. It's very scary. And since then, we've pretty much stayed at home. Whenever I go get the mail, I put this on.
Yeah, you should.
And I always find Arne hiding behind the bushes now.
No, not really. A little bit, but sometimes when we go to pick up the mail, there are like these cars parks next to our post boxes, and there are like men in green coming out of the cars
Yeah.
wearing guns.
Yeah.
It's not so nice. I think it's
Yeah, and
a
before...
little bit scary.
Yeah, and during quarantine, Arne was hiding in the bushes because he was avoiding human contact.
I couldn't meet people.
Because he didn't want to infect anyone, and now we're hiding in the bushes just to make sure the coast is clear before we go grab our mail. So what happened? I mean, this past week has been very exciting.
Yeah, there's so many things happening here.
Yeah, and one of them was we got mail.
We got mail, and yeah, we got this in the mail. Our cups.
So
The
here
Arne
you go.
Carlos cups.
We've got the Arne Carlos cups with our hot brew, and I would say that right now, I mean, we're enjoying these. Yep, and I would say that right now we're doing something very Scandinavian.
Yeah, we are.
We're in the kitchen.
And you have a nice Swedish word for that.
Yes, I do. So anyway, we've got our mugs, the ARNE CARLOS merchandise mugs. You can get those if you go to our website or if you look down at the information below. They're from Teespring, and you know they'll mail them to you and make them and mail them to you right away. Anyway, yeah, we've got our hot brews. I'm not a coffee drinker, so I drink tea, but hot brews, and we have a compulsory
Ta-da!
traditional Swedish kanelbulle. It's a cinnamon bun.
That's what you do when you have coffee
Yeah.
indoors.
Yeah.
Did you say the word?
No.
Oh, you
So today we're gonna have two words of the day. We're gonna have a Swedish word because I'm Swedish, and then we're gonna come back to a Norwegian word later on in the show. So
These are good.
Yeah, they're good, aren't they? So the Swedish word for what we're doing right now is very easy, and maybe you've already heard of it. It's Fika. 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 And it's very important that you pronounce the I as E. And yeah, well, you need to have that E sound. So it's Fika.
I can do it.
No, it's actually one of those few sounds that only Swedish people can pronounce
Fika.
properly. And Fika is pretty much what we're doing. We're enjoying a moment together, a cozy moment together where we're enjoying each other's company. We're having a lovely chat. We're enjoying a hot brew and a delicious kanelbulle, cinnamon bun. And
This could be one of those YouTube videos where people are just eating. Have you seen those?
Now this is what I call a kanelbulle. It's moist and it's sweet and it's got that cinnamon flavor. And I'm just going to take a moment to eat this while you explain a little bit more of our culture.
Well, in Norway, or I guess all over Scandinavia, people tend to meet in the kitchen. I think the kitchen is the most important place in the room. So, sometimes also when we have guests for dinner, a lot of the times we end up in the kitchen because that seems to be the normal place.
Yeah, it's always in the kitchen. Fika meaning a coffee break actually, but it's more than a coffee break. I don't think. For example, if we're in the US and we go to one of those very famous, I'm not going to name the brands because we don't do that here, but if you're at one of those very, branded places where you have coffee, right? And they give you your macchiatos with soya latte, this blah blah blah, that, and you have it to go, or you sit down in this environment which is very, very, you know, the lights are very strong and the furniture is not nice. It's all, you know, meant, you know, like go in and go out. That's not fika.
No.
At all. You can have a double. You can have a double espresso macchiato with your skin fat free soya blah blah blah.
But I think if you're
but you need to have it in a nice place. You need to sit down. You need to unwind.
But what you like if
and you
you're
need
Swedish,
to be in the moment.
Yeah, but if you're Swedish and you meet someone, you say like, shouldn't we go and have a fika?
Yeah.
And then you can have it anywhere, but it has to be nice. Or
I think that the whole point of having a fika is you go to a place which is relaxing and you know, cozy. It should have candles. The tables should have
it's more like
candles, like a nice cafe where you can sit down. And it's not the whole point is not having the coffee. That's not the point.
The things around
it's the camaraderie. It's the being in the moment. It's enjoying your delicious cinnamon bun.
So it's like in Norwegian we say kaffeslabberas, and also in Danish I think they say do kaffeslabberas. So that's more like a fika.
Yeah. And it's just being there in the moment, having some cozy times. I mean, it's a cozy thing. And I don't think you can do that in one of those fast chains, you know, the in, out. That's not.
I don't have time for it because there's a new customer behind you.
Yeah.
You need to sit down and relax.
And I also believe, you know, if you're a traditionalist, then a fika is with filter coffee that is done in the drip machine, not a double espresso macchiato latte, blah blah blah. This
you know, I have to tell you something, because just a few days ago this thing came up in my head, and which I really miss at the moment. Remember back in the time, not so long ago, but like before internet, when you bought a newspaper and you went into a cafe and you sat down and you had a coffee and you read the newspaper.
That's actually a fika as
That
well.
was so nice, and we don't do that anymore.
No,
It's always on the telephone.
Yeah, now we do this all the time.
Yeah, and not everything is interesting either. So
no, not at all. So yeah.
Now we should take back time.
Yeah.
And go and have more fika.
Yeah. Well, I think we do fika all the time.
Yeah, we do fika all the time. What else should we do? We're like in the middle of nowhere.
And it's funny, you know, we were like looking at these mugs when they arrived. It's the first time we see them. We had them made in I don't know where they're made, but we had them made. We've only seen like the imagery of them, and then suddenly we have them in our hands. And we've already showed these on photos, and there's a tote bag as well that you can get through the merchandise. And it was funny, Arne, because several people there were asking for the name of the artist who did the artwork for the mugs. Well, someone even commented that the artist has added a lot of hair to your figure.
Oh my god!
And I find it a little bit comical that you know, if we wear a sweater. Any sweater, people will immediately assume we've knitted it and will ask for the pattern, and more than likely it's from a vintage collection that we never knitted. And then we do these that we do ourselves, and then people ask who the name of the artist is. Well, hello, here is the artist.
And we
did this.
The reason why I have so much curly hair is that I made a drawing from the cover of the Norwegian Knit with a Twist book, because on that cover I had more curls and longer hair, and I think Freya was with us on that picture.
She was, yes.
So that's what I was looking at when I was drawing.
Yeah. So when we work with design, we do a lot of drawing as well. In the past, it used to be by hand. Lately, though, Arne, you're getting a little lazy because you're doing everything in Illustrator.
It's so much quicker,
And when Arne does it in Illustrator, I feel a little bit outside because I feel excluded because I don't know how to do Illustrator. I don't know how to use it. You're the only one.
But we started to do some sketches also.
Yeah, when we do the sketches by hand, I will contribute because I can.
Because that's nice, and that's actually also what we do in the kitchen. That's a kitchen thing.
Yeah, it's a fika thing. We do coffee, cinnamon bun.
You can show the drawings. There's coffee on them.
Yeah, I'm sure there are. Yes, there are.
There are. Because sometimes we do like quick sketches when we work on a collection. So like We have
Yeah.
one with this is like very quick.
Yeah, so we're gonna start showing, because this is taking the thread from last week where we were talking about our design work and our process. And I was saying that you don't have to be a knitter to be a good knitwear designer. All you need to know is how to convey the ideas to a team. And even though we can knit, both of us, and you know that because we've done over 300 tutorials on our YouTube channel, when we work as knitwear designers, I would say the last thing we are is knitters.
Yeah, because like when we're quite busy designing,
Yeah.
so there's hardly no time to knit.
So-
Like knitting is more for fun or as projects for the YouTube channel.
So here you go. Here's the coffee stain, just to prove it. What I was going to say is that what you're seeing here is a preparatory sketch for a collection. We have actually never done any of these designs, although I'm really loving this one.
I want to do this one, and
I'm loving this one as
more
well.
on that one.
And I think that if you take off that, you've got an amazing sweater there. So anyway, when we work with a collection, we always started out like this, and we may do over 100 of these. I mean, it goes very quickly because you have one figure, and then you just copy it, and you just color it in.
Yeah.
And
you dress the figure.
Yeah, you dress the figure, and we could do 100 of these very quickly, and then from those 100 we make a selection of what we think has potential, and then from that sketch we will start developing it more and more.
But then we keep the sketches because you can always go back in
Yeah.
your archives and look at the sketches and work more on them.
And I've got another one here. This is actually for a project that never happened. It was we were doing it for it was an idea that we had with someone to do a collection of ski wear, but unfortunately it fell through. But we did do a few sketches to present the idea of what the ski wear collection would look like. And so these are our figures, and as you can see, the pants are not colored in because it's very uninteresting. The interesting thing is the sweaters that they're all wearing, the different designs for that. And again, did we only do these 5, or did we do more?
No, we have more.
We've got more, yeah. But I don't remember coloring anymore.
I think
Maybe they're just black and white?
no.
No? Oh, so you've done more than me then?
Yeah, I think we have more.
And then we work with different kind of media as well. I mean, it could be fun to tell you a little bit about that. These are all worked with pencil and some water as well.
Mm-hmm.
You do the pencil, and sometimes you get water, and you're working in layers. As you can see, there's layers and layers of color put in. I am more of a watercolor kind of person, so I love working with watercolors. And then there's another technique which is used very much in fashion, if you can explain the
Yeah,
pantone.
that's like the Pantone. What do you call that? Tush? What's that in English?
Markers?
Markers, and then you work with the marker and you make the shadows and stuff, and then you can work on top with the
Yeah.
pencil to make the if it's knitwear, it should look like knitwear.
Yeah.
So then you have to work on top of the.
So for example, if I'm drawing a face, right, I will color the face in the skin tone first, with a marker. Once the skin tone is colored, I will add the shadow where
With the same marker, you work on.
you just add a new layer of the same color marker to create the shadows. And when you have kind of like the face structure done, and you've got all the shadows in the right place, you start doing the highlights. And when you do the highlights, you would typically work with a lighter color. Maybe if you're doing like a dark skin,
Then
you
you
could
have
have
light
like a
color.
white, a little white. And then you do maybe like on the nose and around here. And then you start adding, if you put makeup on, you'll add that as well.
And then
So-
you work with. Normally we work with the pencil.
Yeah, at the end.
On top, and I like to work with the one that is also for aquarelle.
Yeah,
So
aquarelles, yeah.
But I
Watercolors.
never use watercolor on top of a marker.
No, that's not necessary, because what you do, if you're working with a Pantone marker, if you work with Pantone marker and add the original color, when you do the shades, then when you do the crayon or pencil, if you do pencil, there are some pencils on the market that when you paint with them, you can add a little water.
Yeah.
And then it kind of dissolves a little bit and becomes a little bit more like.
Or you can, like, if you want to do a special technique, you can actually use like a little knife, and you can put water on the drawing, and then you use the pencil and you do
Exactly.
like this.
But with watercolor, I would recommend only working just with watercolor. I love watercolor, but I haven't done it for a long time, I have to say.
No, but You see, that's the problem. Like, we do so many designs all the time, so we don't have time to do proper drawings anymore.
No.
We don't have time to knit the garments. And I think that's normal when you work as a designer. You don't have time to do all these things.
So I wanted to show you one more thing, and it's this one here. I'm just going to do this very quickly. There you go. We've spent a long time...
That's like a secret, business secret.
Yeah, we've spent a long time perfecting our measurements. I'm not going to show these to anyone, but yeah, basically this side has a list of things.
No, you showed it.
Yeah, I did show the measurements.
Oh, okay. I thought you showed it.
And then here on this side, this is Tore from the New Nordic Unisex collection, and this is how we make it. For this one, we didn't even have to swatch it because we swatched last year to show the technique, Vegard. So pretty much what we sent to Rowan when we developed this design is this sketch, and then it has all the measurements that we explain, and then we do a chart. So the whole sweater is charted, the sweater and the sleeves. And when we draw this, it's done in Illustrator, and we have developed a technique, or actually we have developed a system so that it can literally be drawn exactly as what it will look like in real life. So the chart is done, and then the chart is put in this, which is a flat drawing, as you can see. And what you see here is exactly what you see.
Yeah, because we have this, we made this template with squares that match with, that is actually how a knitted piece will look. So if we want, we can have every stitch from shoulder to shoulder and from top to bottom, and then we know exactly how it will look when it's knitted. So I'm
Please take this away from me. Put it far away where I can't.
But I'm
reach
still
it.
working on mine also, and Freya wants mine.
Yeah, I'm like a child with these
I know
things.
you
Once
are.
I stop, I just eat and eat and eat.
Okay.
So yeah, this is a little bit more for you to understand how we work as designers. And as we were saying last week, when we were working professionally as fashion designers in the beginning, Arne was knitting in the evenings as a hobby, and we never even thought that you could combine your hobby with your craft. In our case, the craft is the design work. And here you go, you can. But we could have continued separating it and just knitted
as a hobby,
because you don't have to be a knitter to be a designer. That's those two don't really go hand in hand.
But we could like a lot of people knit something and post it.
Oh yeah, but that's different.
Yeah, so we could have done that. But then I don't know. I like to do collections. I like
Me too.
that process. I like
working as a
collect the
team.
inspiration, work with the inspiration.
Yeah, and then I like working with technicians, and I like working with the professionals who will do the rest of the work. Our job as designers is to create ideas. We come up with the ideas, and we creatively direct a project, and then you bring in all the people that are good at their things, like the technical team who will do the grading. You've got the teams that will do the knitting, and then you do the fittings, of course, because not everything comes out the way you think. I mean, you do a drawing and it looks spectacular on paper, and sometimes when you get that, it looks horrific. So yeah. Okay, so moving on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Well,
what's the next thing?
Originally we called this podcast "Sit and Knit for a Bit."
I was thinking about that because you told me about the woman.
Yeah. So what I wanted to say, let's start by saying this: the podcast is called "Sit and Knit for a Bit" because we love the title. It's quirky and it rhymes, right? But we don't want this to be a knitting podcast. We want this to be a podcast about lifestyle. The idea is that whatever you're doing, you can let go of that or not and sit with us for a little half hour or something like that. That's the idea behind it. But sit and knit sounds good.
So you can sit and knit and for a bit and eat
kanelbuller, or you can do crochet, or you can do cross stitch embroidery. And I was reading a comment last week from Kate, and Kate has her own YouTube channel. It's called The Last Homely House, I think. Not Homely Home, but Homely House. Let me just double check. Yeah, The Last Homely House. And Kate has that YouTube channel, and she is doing, or she was doing, how many? I think she was doing 23 red origami cranes. So you see, you can sit and do origami for a bit with Arne and Carlos.
And I was curious at you, Kate. So I'm going through all your videos. So when I work on my computer, I have the video up in the corner, and then I listen and look while I'm doing other stuff, and I'm going to subscribe.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I've already done it.
Yeah, because I can really relate to what you're doing, because when I see the pictures from the house, it's like home.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I saw this video where you made that hexagons for the quilt.
Yeah.
Which I really have a big plan. One day I will make it. I have like half finished.
And maybe we can use Kate's channel for inspiration.
Yeah, because I saw this machine where like you put paper or you put fabric, what you need, and you roll it through a machine. Mm-hmm. And then it came out ready cut.
Yeah.
That was so cool. I'm going to have one of those.
So we have known about you for a while, Kate, because you have sent a lot of people to our YouTube channel, especially when I was sick with COVID. It seems that you have done that. So we have been watching you, and we have been looking at your channel, and we have read your comments. And thank you so much for your congratulations last week on us reaching 100,000 subscribers. And I also read that it's your goal too. So now we're going to do something which is very Norwegian. The Norwegian word of the week is dugnad. And now we're going to do a dugnad to get Kate to get 100,000 subscribers. So we would like to encourage people to go to the last homely house and subscribe to her wonderful channel, and you will see that Kate and Arne and Carlos have a lot in common. She's the female version of Arne and Carlos. What did you say?
Yeah.
But cooler. She's much cooler than us.
She's much cooler.
Yeah, and we love you.
I like the toilet theater.
Yeah, we love you. We love your channel, and please, people, go and have a look at her wonderful channel and subscribe. So the word of the week is dugnad. D-U-G-N-A-D. Dugnad. And if you're wondering how it's spelled, and if you didn't catch it, you can go to our blog at arnecarlos.com, and it will be listed there together with Fika.
That's the second word of the week.
Well, the first word was Swedish.
So one Swedish and one Norwegian.
So Arne, because you're the Norwegian of us, please explain dugnad.
Dugnad is when you kind of encourage people to come and do something together to reach a goal.
And the goal is not for the good of you, it's for the good of the people.
All of you.
So it's a community goal.
Yeah. It's like before 17th of May in Norway, a lot of people, they gather up and then they walk along the roads and pick up garbage, because a lot of people, they just throw things out of the window when they drive their cars,
and it's done
someone
unpaid.
has to pick it up.
And it's done unpaid.
Yeah, so that's a dugnad.
Another dugnad is if you live in an apartment building anywhere in Norway before May 17th, they will also call you in for a dugnad, where they usually what they do is that you work all day. If there's like a backyard with plants and stuff, you take care of your apartment building together with the people, and then in the end of the day, the organizers will do like a barbecue or hot dogs and beer or something like that, and everybody joins in. Now, if you don't join in a dugnad, it's quite interesting, because if you don't join in, nobody will say anything.
No, but they will
know that you didn't join, and it will make you feel ashamed. So skipping a dugnad in Norway, that's a big no-no.
We don't have a lot of dugnads where we live.
Not really, but I want to say that considering how we started 20 years ago, we started our career as designers from absolutely zero, nothing. We had nothing. We didn't even have money when we started out. And if it weren't for the Norwegian dugnadsånd, so the spirit of the dugnad, we wouldn't have been where we are.
I think we got it in us in a way.
Yeah, because we needed marketing material when we started out. We needed to photograph the collections that we did on fashion models. We needed to work with a good photographer. We needed a stylist who could style and do the makeup, and we needed a hairdresser to do the hair. And we were able to bring up a team together in the spirit of dugnad, because we were up and coming, and they all knew that we were going to make it. So they knew that if they helped us for free, they would all get help, and we would all push ourselves up.
I think actually we were all up and coming in a way.
Yeah.
So in a way we helped each other.
Absolutely.
Because if a model did something for us or a hairdresser, they could use the picture. That was the result of the thing to get other jobs. So, and that's a good Dugnad.
Yeah, and I remember our beloved hairdresser Rune, who's unfortunately no longer with us, but he always said that it gave him so much, it was so fulfilling to work with us. That because, when he was a very big stylist in Norway for hair, one of the best. And he'd do so many shoots where they'd ask him to do natural hair. And, in the end, when you're doing the same thing over and over again, you get fed up. And he always said that working with us was a way for him to get his creativity moving so that he could develop himself to become a better hairdresser.
But did we ever do natural hair?
I think in the end we did ask him for natural hair.
We did, maybe in the end.
But anyway, and it was the same with the photographer. The photographer that we worked with also did it because he wanted to continue developing his skills. So Dugnad is a very important word in our culture, and literally everybody is involved in some kind of a Dugnad here in Norway, one way or another, and usually it is to the benefit of a greater meaning.
Yeah. So that's Katie.
So Dugnad today, we dedicate Dugnad to Kate. So
Kate. Sorry.
Yeah, so go to the last homely house, check out her fabulous videos and follow her, become a subscriber. She's fabulous and you're gonna love her as much as we do.
And I like to look at all the stuff in the house.
Yeah.
It feels so homely.
Yeah, and I think that's how people do, that's what people do with us as well.
But now we clean up behind us. Sometimes we clean up a little.
Well,
because
we've cleared the frame that is behind us. You guys should see what it looks like on the other side.
You can't show everything.
Yeah.
You're not warm?
Yeah, actually I am. I think it looks, I don't know, I think it looks good.
You feel comfortable?
I feel very chic wearing my little Space Invader dickie, feeling like a kid all over again. So, yeah. So we're going to do a little show and tell. We've done it before, but because the podcast is called Sit and Knit for a Bit, and we don't want it only to be knitting, we want you to do whatever you want or nothing. We're going to not do a knitting show and tell today, are we?
No. So, did you bring anything? Oh, you have it there.
So, can you tell our viewers, Arne?
Look what we brought. We've been going through our stash and we found this.
Well, this is not part of our stash, sorry.
The skirt.
So...
It's in the stash.
Well, it's in a beautiful box.
In a beautiful box.
So, let's explain what this is. This is in connection with an exhibit.
Yeah.
That we did, actually that was done. It was a gift when Arne and I... okay, so people can't see us right now.
But you can talk
okay,
anyway.
Yeah, I can, yeah. So when we had our 10-year anniversary, the National Museum of Architecture and Design in Norway gave us an exhibit of our work, the 10 first years. And the exhibit opened in Oslo, in the Center for Art, Architecture and Design in 2012, Doga. And then it was an ambulating exhibition that went to museums all over Norway for 3 years. Mm-hmm. And the last stop in the tour was Alta, the museum in Alta in northern Norway. And in addition to the museum exhibit, we created, together with the National Museum, a school exhibition that went to schools all over Norway, where the kids learn more about creativity, they learn more about us. Mm-hmm. And actually that's a good reason to wear this dickie, because it was part of the exhibit as well.
Yeah, and
because this is part of the work that we did.
You have to explain what this is.
Okay, now I want you to explain it now, because I talked so much.
Okay, yeah, because part of the exhibition went to schools, and this is a project that was in the school. It was like a chain skirt that was going to different schools, and this is just one of many. And then the kids were doing embroidery, and they put their embroidery on the skirt, and then when this was full there was a new skirt on top.
Yeah, so this is pretty much a chain letter to Arne and me. It was dedicated to us, and when the kids learned about creativity and about our work, after that they were allowed a little session with just a little piece of embroidery fabric, embroidery canvas, to do this this. And
look what I found on this.
Yeah, there's a Space Invader there.
This is inspired of the dickie.
Yeah, And the kids that were doing this, they were in, I think, 10 to 12 years. Look at this one here. I love this. This is a snow scooter, so I'm thinking this is from Alta, in the north of Norway, where they have a lot of those.
And also from the horse. Look at this one. Or maybe it's a unicorn. Look at the beautiful horse.
Yeah,
That's so cute.
it's a wonderful memory to have. The National Museum presented us these skirts after the exhibition was over. They were presented to us in acid-free boxes, and Arne does have some plans of what we're going to do with these.
Yeah, I'm going to frame them in those plexiglass frames. So you have plexiglass on both sides, and then when the studio is finished, we could put it on the wall.
Yeah.
And then you can show one side one week, and you turn it around the next
Yeah.
one.
And there's a few stories the museum told us, and of course we have favorites here, but I have to showcase this one here. This is definitely a favorite. So you see this one here.
You have to show it so you can see it in silhouette.
Yeah, there you go. This here is literally a ball of yarn that has been embroidered onto the skirt. You know what it is? It's a cupcake.
It's a cupcake.
And the kid who did this, the museum told us, was a boy. And originally when they started this class, he didn't want to do this because he didn't think boys should be doing embroidery or crafts. So he was doing this on purpose to be provocative, to provoke something.
It didn't work.
It didn't work because he was, by the end of the class, he actually did some other stuff that are beautiful, and he just didn't want to stop. So he kind of changed from I don't want to I can't, I don't want to leave now. I want to do this so much. And I love that fact that you can start with an idea, and then by the end of the session you have a completely different point of view.
I wonder what was going on in his head when he got this little square of canvas and then he just placed the whole ball on top.
Yeah.
See?
It's a cupcake.
It's a cupcake.
And this is another favorite of mine. This one here. I actually believe that whoever did that, it has a promising career in fine arts.
Who was that?
This one.
I
think that this is amazing.
And there's another one. There's another one which is really nice. I've just saw this one. Look at this one.
Yeah, that's also fantastic.
I think that one is nice.
Yeah,
it looks like a heart on the top, and then something happens.
So yeah, this is something that we're very proud of, and when I think about it, I get tears in my eyes as well, because it means this is 3 years of our life when this exhibit was going around all over.
3?
Yeah. And when kids were learning about who we are and what we do and how we can inspire people to use their hands. Nowadays, and this is very important, nowadays, because there's not so much using your hands, kids are losing their ability. Mm-hmm. The motoric ability is being lost because all they do now is this with the iPhone. They do this, but they can't use their hands. It's a great thing to kind of reintroduce this to a new generation, and it is the biggest and most important part of our work. It is to preserve our traditions and to bring them intact to a new generation who hopefully will take over one day when we're gone. Maybe the cupcake kid is so inspired that he'll become a big artist, a big embroiderer in the future. Who knows? And moose. Actually, no, the moose are all hiding right now because of the hunting season.
You have to explain, because we have a carpenter. He's outside. Both of the dogs been out now. They've been saying hello to the carpenter, and we thought this would be fine. Mm-hmm. And suddenly they heard something.
Our carpenter is doing some work outdoors. The moose are hiding. There's no moose around here. They're all hiding because of the hunters, which I think is really good. And my opinion of hunting moose is I hope the moose can run really fast, because I'd rather have the moose around, even if they annoy us and annoy Freya.
But see, Freya is always starting. She's teaching Helmer all the bad manners.
She's the instigator here. Anyway, back to the idea of the chain letter. It's a parallel to what we're doing now with our podcast, because we're doing the blocks. Every day we're doing the blocks, and every week we're doing the blocks. We used to do them every day, and they become like a chain letter as well. When you see the blocks after you made your own blanket, they will be a memory of the days and the things that you were going through when you did those blocks. Some people will have good good emotions. Other people may have some not so good emotions, depending on if they were struggling with COVID or just feeling lonely. But it's nice to have that documented.
Yeah, and we did things together.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Yeah. So before we do the block, Arne, I do want to bring up the last episode we did on Sunday.
Oh yeah, the
maracas.
The maracas. Yeah.
Do you have them here?
I have them here because what happened? Like, this is yours. You haven't finished yours.
Oh, this is mine.
I have a ball. It's over there. I have to pick it up.
So we've not gotten better.
No, actually, I made one ball. In the end, I have to finish one ball, and you see you can pull it out from the inside, so it works. But this is the most, how can you say that? I think it's the worst ball I ever made.
And look, I've learned now.
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
I'm not going to do this anymore because this looks so bad. So I'm going to do the technique my mother showed me, and we have a video. Maybe we can have a link somewhere when we did the twined knitting, because it's the same thing.
I think it's going to be easier if you just search for it on our YouTube channel, twine knitting.
Twined
Carlos.
knitting. Then you see how my mother taught me to make balls, and it's, for me, that is easier because this one I really don't like. So
we tried doing a nästepinne to wind the yarn. If you haven't seen the video, check it out. It's awful. It's awful. And the whole point of doing something live on camera that we don't know how to do is just to show you all that we fail, we're human. And because a lot of people think that we know how to do everything, and we don't. We don't. And okay, been there, done that, moving on. So let's move on.
This will be decoration. Nice decoration.
Yeah. Next week.
But I can put this on the.
Yeah.
I can put it on the dress.
Not on this one. This is.
And then it's me and the cupcake boy.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll let you do that. Anyway, we're moving on. Next week, so next Sunday, on our channel, you will be able to enjoy a brand new design that we are releasing. It's a Christmas stocking.
Yeah, Christmas is coming.
Christmas is coming. I don't know the exact amount of days, but 70 something. And it's about time to start knitting Christmas stockings. We don't actually have Christmas stockings in the Norwegian traditions. Nowadays we do because it's influenced by other countries. But we've designed a cool Fair Isle pattern Christmas stocking that you will be able to see in next week's episode, and you will be able to download as well. Purchase the pattern if you want to do it. It's going to be a busy week. Knit Stars is coming up as well. The sales on Knit Stars will open tomorrow, Thursday, and they will be available for a week. And if you're wondering the date, today is October 7th. So October 7th is today's date of 2020. So tomorrow, October 8th. Knit Stars cart opens, so in case you want to buy Knit Stars 1, 2, 3, 4, you should be able to do that now. Go to our website at arnecarlos.com or get the link down below. If you do that, we get a little commission, so that is always appreciated.
We need the money.
We need the money. So it's hard times right now.
And I have a black belt in shopping.
Yeah. And the final thing that we're going to go through is today's block. So Arne, drum roll.
I have a block. Or you can use this one.
Oh yeah.
You're good with that.
So now we're going to do the block. Drum roll.
Hearts. Today we have hearts for you. That's the block of the day.
And this block we're going to dedicate to the 100,000 subscribers that we have on our channel. Actually, we have more now than that because we already passed 100,000 subscribers. And you know what we're going to call this pattern? This block? 100,000 hearts.
Yeah. Very good.
I know.
It's a bit Christmassy.
It is, yes.
And you know why? Because I've been knitting, I'm starting to knit all the 50 balls in our Christmas ball book.
Yeah.
In new red and the new white. Because I want to change the whole look of the Christmas tree this year.
Okay, so I'm officially taking this off now.
We should stop. You should do the formalities now.
Yeah, so the formalities are very simple. I'm going to do them very quickly because you all know the drill by now. If you liked our podcast, please give us a big thumbs up. Turn on your notifications by clicking on the bell, and you'll never miss an episode. We reached our 100,000 goal of subscribers, so I think we need a new goal. So just please continue subscribing. Subscribing to our YouTube channel is actually the very best way you can support us, to be honest. The more subscribers we have, the least likely that we will have to stop doing videos, because YouTube will support us as well. And the more YouTube support us, the more we can bring out great tutorials for you guys and podcasts. And also another great way to support us in these hard times is if you purchase patterns from us. You can do that at arnecarlos.com. Select shop from the menu. Can I have my bun back, please? I want my bun.
Yeah.
Okay.
And take a look at Kate. Is it Kate?
And remember to check out Kate at the last Homely House. She is fabulous. I'm sure that you're going to be as entertained as we are.
Yeah, and now I'm going to make a new ball, and I'm going to watch a new episode.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to watch an episode with you. I'm going to enjoy my bun, my fika, and my cup of tea.
Yeah.
And we'll see you all again soon. Remember, we post every Sunday a tutorial or a fun video, and then we got our podcast every Wednesday. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
And the last coffee.
And the bun is so good.